My guest for this episode is the founder and managing director of Bayfront Hotel Cebu, Mr. Charlton Cokaliong. We get into a free-flow talk on various issues. I hope you take something from this episode. Thank you. Okay, good afternoon, Charlton.
Afternoon.
Yeah, so it's been a long time.
Yeah, long time no see.
Yeah, so I just wanted to catch up and see how you're doing, how's
Yeah.
business, how's the hotel industry.
Yeah.
We're here at your second Bayfront branch sa capital site. So, what's new?
Well, what's new is that we're happy that the hotel industry is already coming back. So after the pandemic, 2 years, 3 years, it's very difficult for us because travel was at standstill, nobody traveling, and then we have expenses, employees to pay, operating costs, and then so lisod kayo ang pandemic. But very happy that revenge travel is here, so we're quite doing good right now. Both of the hotels are doing good. So, Lipay. It's not only me that is Lipay, but I think also other hoteliers are also Lipay.
So, katong pandemic time, how did you cope? Did you have to retrench employees? How did you survive?
Actually,
What were measures you did to really stay?
Actually, during the pandemic, when it started, there were still a few guests left here. So we have to finish them off until they check out. And then suddenly, when it became a little, the situation aggravates, so we have to, actually we really didn't cut our employees intentionally, but some of the employees voluntarily leave because their parents want them home to their place, and then so we have no control over it because it was a pandemic. We cannot enforce them to stay. So, but we really didn't retrench anybody. But I have to admit that a certain number of employees voluntarily leave. So it balances off. We didn't retrench, but some leave voluntarily because they want to go home, have their family. Kitawag sila naging kanan, then fine.
So now, both branches are in full force na.
Yes.
So
we were in full manning right now. Yes.
So busy na said with events as well.
Yes, events are back.
Okay. So which branch does better?
Actually, it's
and what's the
different
difference?
market.
Which market? What market captures the first branch and this capital branch?
Okay, let's start with the reclamation. Our pilot property is in North Reclamation. Okay, so rooms revenue are okay, events are okay. It's quite busy, Monday till Saturday. But for capital, we've noticed that it's a very strong potential on weekdays. So weekday is also okay. When we opened this property in September of 2021, we only opened 50% of the rooms. Now we already opened 2023, January of 2023. We're fully open, 168 rooms. It's operating full capacity. As for events, we do have many kids party here, rather than on the other side. We're doing good on kids party here because we have smaller function rooms, and then kids party they only go 50 people, 60 people, so it's good.
Okay. That must have been very daring to open during the middle of the pandemic.
Yeah.
So what made you decide to really push through with the second branch?
Yeah, because actually, to be honest, on my situation is that when the pandemic hit 2020, basically we're already 50% at the construction stage. 50, above 50%. Okay, so think it over. Mura siya, patay mali ba? Patay mali. So, I wanna open, it's wrong. I wanna not open or not open, it's still, I don't know, it's still 50-50. So, but bottom line, I was thinking that
Tiwaso na
we
lang.
still have to open because the structure is already there. We already have capital expenditure, we have already exposures and everything. So, it's better to just finish it off. So, we just decided to open
So
all.
it was delayed for how
Yeah.
long? Like how many months na pushback because of the
1
pandemic?
year.
1 year.
Yeah, supposed to be we were targeted to open September of 2020. So we pushed it back 1 year, so it was September of 2021. So 1 year. I think it's a fair delay, a very fair delay.
For this capital branch, you capture more on locals or what's the ratio? Foreigners and locals?
Actually, Bayfront is really on the domestic market. Our strong point is on the domestic market. So both branches, we still have more, our market segmentation is more on the Filipino market. So still local, domestic tourism. But of course, we do have foreign tourists from foreign countries. Yeah, we still do.
What made you decide to venture into hotel? Because I know your family,
Yes.
the Cokaliong clan, has been around for many years in shipping, in textile. So why did you venture into this? And I understand this is really your project na ikaw yung nagsugod.
Actually, actually, to be honest, if you will ask me right now, if you want to grade myself from 1 to 10, being hotelier, I still have, maybe I still have a score of 5. I cannot reach above 5 my score because I'm still considered immature in this business, despite
That's
opening
how
two.
you would rate
Yeah,
yourself.
I
So
would
you're
rate
very
myself,
self-critical.
Yes. Yeah, I would rate myself still on a 50% because my strong point really was on retail trade, textile retail trade. That's my strong point, even up to now. So what made me decide to open the hotel business is I really like the hotel. I really like the hotel business. Before, when I was still in managing our textile business, when I take a look at hotels, I travel around. You know, we often meet in Hong Kong.
Hong Kong.
Yeah, we often meet in Hong Kong before. So tanaw ko na malingaw man ko. I know I enjoy the operation, how does it goes, left and right. So I was really curious. Then I did a little research here and there. I said, okay, this business is quite good. So why not diversify a little bit, try. Then my mother supported me. Then he said, okay, sige, gusto ka, sway. Gusto ka, sway, sige.
So you got full support from your family.
I got full support from my mom, and then I also got full support from my eldest brother. Both of them supported
Chester.
me. Yes,
Okay.
supported me.
All right. Sige. But going back to your earlier roots, you were a graduate of accounting, but imong
actually,
course.
I graduated. I'm from a Chinese school. I graduated Cebu Eastern College High School and elementary. Then I'm a certified public accountant by profession. But
So numbers guy ka.
yeah, I'm a
Nitty-gritty.
numbers guy. So I'm but why I am a numbers guy because
gamit
I
kayo
really
sa negosyo.
Yeah, but you know why I choose numbers rather than other thing else because I don't like to read. I hate reading before, but now I'm used to reading now. Before I hate reading, so I said, pwede pa ko mo-compute o sa karim na worksheet. Ay lang ko babasag o sa karim na libro. That was my theory before. So I didn't, wala ko ng bahay. So it turned out that studying accountancy, I learned well. I also learned a lot. So I applied what I learned, plus with common sense. So it helps me a lot.
So I imagine you act as CFO also,
Yeah.
which is very critical for
I
business.
act as CFO, and then not only as CFO, I act as secretary of everybody.
Okay. Would you describe yourself as a micromanager, nitty-gritty guy, or macro, like oversee the big picture, or a bit of both? No, mix.
I'm a bit of both. I'm a bit micro. It depends upon the situation. There are situations that I want to know everything. There are certain situations that I learn how to let go,
Delegate.
delegate, and then there are also things that I learn to keep a blind eye on it. because if I don't keep a blind eye on it, usay masapot ka in the middle of the night. You keep on, masuko ka because things doesn't go your way, or
You have fixations. No?
yeah, so
Usay mo,
example,
tukar ang OC. Things have to go a certain way.
you want to be perfect, so sometimes you want to do it by yourself, but unfortunately in the hotel business there are many departments you really cannot do it by yourself. You need to rely on people to help you do it. So that's one thing. It's not really a simple buy and sell that you can do everything by yourself. So that's a difference.
What's the most challenging aspect of running a hotel?
Challenging aspect for me is about, unfortunately, I would say manpower, because
Quality of the people, you mean? Or
it's not really quality of the people for me, but it's really maybe a mixed match, because unlike or mixed match, or maybe they lack passion about it, because unlike before the pandemic, we have many good hoteliers, good people. I can say really good. I met many of them, good hoteliers, passionate people. But now, I may say that not all those who graduated HRM right now, I'm not saying all, I'm not saying all, but a number of them really don't know what they want. I don't know if it is they just take up HRM, they just be a hotelier by force, by chance, or I don't know.
napugos ra.
Napugos
Like
ra,
it's really
because-
not their
yeah,
passion.
because when I interview people, I always ask them, you graduated HRM management, hotel and resort management. Yes, your first job was on a BPO. I said, why that? Dako mang sweldo, sir. Or ganahan ko gabi, sir. Or akong boyfriend, akong girlfriend, kuyog mo gud mi, sir. For many instances, I always encounter that. So I would say that you're really not passionate about taking the hospitality course, really, right? Because if you're really passionate about it, after you graduate, you would run into immediately to work in a hotel, in an airline, in a
Mailhan, no? If napugos ra.
Mailhan siya. So mura sila napugos. But I hope they really be passionate about it, and they should know that what do they really like. Because if you work in a hotel, it's a 24/7 job. So they need to be passionate about it. If they're not really willing to work a 24/7 job, or then I think they should not be a hotelier at all for me.
So how do you ensure na standards are maintained, quality is up there,
Yeah.
food is
Yeah.
of course exquisite?
Yeah, one thing about our niche market, because one thing about Bayfront, you asked me a while ago that what's our target market, right? So I don't know what was your question, was target market, or you asked me something a while ago. We are really positioned for a mid-scale. So
Mid-scale.
mid-scale is not really difficult to achieve, right? So it's not that much criteria. So for a mid-scale, I think we can pass with flying colors. So to ensure how standards are met is that we have to make sure that we have a checklist man na checklist na mao ni mo buhaton. So it's the responsibility of each people assigned per department to complete those checklists. So kung dili kayo sila maka-complete og checklist, means to say they fail. Na atay in evaluation hagbong sila. Hagbong gud sila because our managers, we have good managers here. So musuroy sila, tan-aw sila, dili mao. So their attention will be called for.
Okay. Pero what was the inspiration behind the concept of Bayfront? And why the name Bayfront? And I see it's very modern, no? The look.
Actually, before when I told you I was studying around. I was studying before I opened the first Bayfront. I studied around.
How long did you study?
4 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, around not less than 3
Where?
years.
Abroad?
No, I really didn't study. I'm more on an observation. I told you I don't like to read, so I really don't study.
So you went around.
I went
observed.
around, take a look, and then if you notice, no two hotels will be the same. Even on our third, by the way, we're also on the drawing board for a new property.
No, so more expansion.
More expansion,
projects.
but hopefully, if I hope there will be no more crisis, no more pandemic, but hopefully, if everything goes on, we are already in the planning stage for the third property. But if you will notice, no three properties will be the same. So at least there will be differentiation. Because if you know that some foreign brands, they came in, they are similar look. You know, and you go to Europe, I think there are also a couple of chain hotels here in the Philippines that pareho tanan, their concept, that's their concept. So dapat you have this color scheme, you like that. But I don't want to do that because it's a little bit boring, you know. So at least you go to you go to a bayfront here, you go to a bayfront there. The interiors are not the same. The interiors are not the same. The concept of the design is not the same. So it will be a little bit playful. You know? So,
there are variations.
Yeah. So lahi siya. Dili siya boring ba? Say boring mo kay good parihatanan ba? You see one, you see all.
To add some variety, to make it more enticing.
Enticing for guests to take a look at try sila ba.
What about the textile business? Are you still involved?
No, I work in
or full-time juga sa inyong hotel?
Okay, since 2020, I took full-time because in the hotel in the hotel business 2020. So I was with the textile store for 27 years actually. 27 years. It was a very very long journey for me. So that's why you were asking me a while ago that what's my I said I would say that textile industry is still my forte right now. Textile industry and textile retail trade, I still give myself a higher score than being a hotelier. But my textile store is now run by my brothers.
So you're fully hands off, or you still are available for consultation?
No, I don't do. I don't do consultation anymore. I think that they should be better than me. They should be better than me. But let's see. Then focus more on the hotel because I said that the hotel is also a big investment. It's a big capital expenditure. So I need to focus more. And then I also have expansion plans. So the more I need to focus on this one, because my brothers also handling the other business. So what for, man? So what for do I need to help them when they are also capable of running their own show?
Yeah. Did you have any benchmarks or like looking at other hotels?
Yeah,
did you,
I do always.
What was your inspiration? Which hotel chain like molded you to, or a mix of everything?
It's a mix of everything. But if you ask me whether I do visitations ocular, yes, I do. I do oculars with other hotels, whether city in Manila. Actually, next week, if I'll be in Manila next week, I'll visit also a new openings hotels there. I already made appointment for ocular because by doing oculars, it makes me learn what other people are doing, what do they have, what I don't have, what I have, which they don't have. It's always comparison. That's why my mother taught me before when I was in the textile industry. My mom always taught me that you need to compare. Buying or selling items, you need to compare for you to know and for you to maneuver around. If you don't know what you have and what they don't have, what they have, what you don't have, and vice versa, you don't know how to maneuver around. So it's important. So that's also part of the studying lessons that we need to learn.
Okay. You come from a big Chinese family, and I'm familiar with that.
Yes.
I'm familiar with how it works. How do you come to an agreement? When you delegate the business, when you assign? Because I'm sure if maklaro ang sabot, there will be squabbles, egos will be all over the place sometimes. So you hear about all these family businesses na mag-away bitaw.
But
so there are clashes.
Unfortunately,
so how do you make sure na it's smooth?
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm as far as the hotel is concerned, maybe nobody likes the hotel. Walay mang hilabot.
why nakialam?
Because maybe they don't like the business.
So no one meddles.
I really don't know that whether they like the business or not. I didn't get the chance to ask them whether you like the business or not. But so far doing good.
Yeah.
So far doing good. I'm managing it. I'm managing it since the start. So I think, well, they can take a look at how I manage things. It's also growing and it's also bearing fruit. So what else can they ask from me?
But was there a time na maghilabtanay mo sa different business ventures?
We respect each other's management style. No? we respect each other a lot. So it's fine.
Because if you're familiar with the show Succession, di
Yeah.
ba, naaman na yung maglalis,
Actually, I'm telling someone
power
who's
struggles, you know.
Actually, very good you mentioned about Succession because I never watched that that HBO movie, right? I think it's
It's a
on
series,
season 3 already, right? Because I was about to download it because my friends keep on telling me you should watch it, and kapuyan mo kung mo download, daghan kayo ba, no? And then my hard drive na because I have a dedicated computer only for the download because I'm afraid man ko na I keep on downloading things ma-virus ba, so I refrain.
Naraman sa HBO Go na.
HBO Go, yeah. So I'm planning to watch that movie, but I haven't watched it yet. But many people are saying it's nice.
Yeah, the reason I brought that up because I've seen other families crumble because of some petty dispute, some ego issue, kanang di papildi ang isa, so gi power trip sa isa.
No.
That's
actually,
common in some.
Actually, it's common, but it's avoidable also.
Yeah.
It's common but avoidable.
Okay, so but going back sa inyong family history, so you ventured into textile and shipping
Yes.
and hotel.
Yes.
Any other industries your family is looking to explore?
Oh, wala pa man because everybody is busy.
Busy.
Everybody is busy. So everybody has his own expansion plans of my ahya, ilang business, ilang shipping, they want to expand. Ako sad, I have my own agenda. I wanted to expand. So I think that's keeping us busy.
How did your parents begin di? Unsa ilang story when they first started out in Cebu?
Actually,
Your mom is renowned, di ba?
Yeah.
Si Gregoria Cokaliong.
My mom is a daughter of Sinya Ping. Sinya Ping is a very mura siya sikat na department store way back then.
50s, 60s,
50s.
50s.
Yes, 50s, 60s. Very sikat na sila na department store before. Well, the building is still there in Manalili, but of course it's rented out already to Chinese tenants. So my mom was a teacher before. She is a graduate of UP Diliman.
What did she teach to?
Mathematics. She was a professor in San Carlos, and then she also taught in Chinese school.
Okay.
Yeah, she's BS Mathematics.
So diha ka naliwat
Di ako,
sa numbers
di ako.
kay
Not only
accounting,
me,
finance.
even my siblings also know. So that's why before ignan gyud niyan, mahagbong gyud mong math, mauwaw jud ko. Pwede ra mo mahagbong og Pilipino, ay na mahagbong og math. So move forward when she got married to my father, they opened Chester Enterprises. So that's our textile industry. So my mother, my mother and my father was really the founder of the store. So they managed it well, and then kami tanan, my ahya, me, tabang yun mi dito, kami tanan, until to what it is today. Tabang me, then my ahya ventured into shipping, ako ventured into hotels. So it's the story all about.
How often do you come together as a family? Only during gatherings, or
gatherings.
do you have board meetings as a whole?
No, actually, it's really called, we do board meetings, sometimes formal, sometimes informal. Informal means kasi tawag lang tidpo, no? Mauna, ana. But as I told you, that each sibling takes care of the industry that he's holding. So that would be a better, smooth transition. Diba? So, okay ra gyud siya tanan.
And recently, si Chase, your
Chase is my
nephew.
Nephew.
He's been gaining a lot of attention with
He likes it.
he's already tagged as the king of giveaways.
Of Cebu. Yeah.
So
He
how's
also,
that going for him? What's his ultimate agenda?
I don't know. Maybe he wants to be bigger than Small Laude. I don't know. You have to ask him that.
Okay.
But he's happy about what he's doing. He's really happy, and then he also help people. He help people give away. I believe in what he's doing is he help a lot of people.
Altruism, like giving,
he help a lot of people.
giving
so I
a
believe,
car, giving. It started with that
Diamond.
ring, right?
Yeah. He started in giving the diamond.
And very interesting mechanics.
Yeah,
or
and then it's
the-
actually it keeps the energy there. You know, he likes to do that.
yes, to stir the pot,
Yeah, he likes to, yeah, but yeah, I think he's happy doing it, and then he also makes other people happy. So yeah, I think it's good karma also.
Ah.
Good karma.
On a more personal note,
Yeah.
what are your hobbies? How do you keep active?
Oh.
Any side hustles or
My
sports?
My hobby is eating.
Eating.
No, actually. No, before I used to run. I ran marathons, half marathon. I often, if you see me before, I was very very
You
slim.
were quite fit when
yeah,
we met.
Yeah,
I was
all
still,
the time.
I think,
But
in
now,
school.
since when I started the hotel business, so of course, as I told you, it's a 24/7 job. So you will be on call 24/7. Dili man siya murag tindahan na you only open 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock, sarado mo alas 5, alas 6. No? So it's a 24/7. So middle of the night, na problema, matawag ka. Di ba? So it's different when I was still in the textile store and then versus I'm here. Because I will be on call. Tindahan, sa'yo naman, saradaan mo gabi eh.
Yeah.
Awa na, di ka ganang problema, sarado. Holiday, sarado. Here in the hotel, you cannot do that. You cannot do that. Holidays are busy. Holidays are busy here. January 1, abli. And January 1 to December 25, Holy Week. So, wala.
What's a usual day like for you? Do you have a schedule for the other branch and here? You're here.
No, actually,
How often?
I'm here actually, I'm in our main office in reclamation, no? So basically, I'm there every day. And then here, I visit for 4 or 5 times a week. If I cannot come here every afternoon, then I make sure that I have to be here 4 to 5 times a week.
But do you still go home or dirira ka matog na sa suite or?
No, katong pag-pandemic, because di ba I told you, pandemic abli upon me, no? And then there was a time that we were accepting quarantine. No? So since my mom lives with me at home, so I need to be careful. So there was a period of time na diri ko matog. Because to protect my mom,
Yeah,
so di ko
para
ganahan.
di kayo mo
exposed.
kalat.
So I need to matog ko diri. So well, yeah, safety ba? For the safety purposes.
Okay. What about your family? I understand you have 2 kids
Yeah.
na.
Yeah. One is 3 years
how's
old.
family life? How's fatherhood?
One is 3 years old. One is 6, 7 months. Yeah. Kids, well, they force you to go home early because before wala pa. After that, I often like to go out with friends, But lately, kapoy na ba? And then you also need to malingaw ka ba? Malingaw ka, so you're in a hurry to go home. You want to stay home in the evening, go with them, lakaw, ano ba? So it's really different kung nanay kids at home. You want to stay with them.
Okay. Going back to Bayfront,
Yeah.
naba mo'y promos karon? Unsay mga enticing deals and what's your edge over the other hotels in the same level?
Our edge is we have
Like,
good
why
location.
Bayfront?
Yeah, we have good location. Okay, that's number one. Our service is. If you ask me what are the challenges, if you were gonna ask me what will be the challenges in the next few years upcoming is guest behavior is no longer the same. Sometimes they want to pay less, but they want more. So what sets us apart is our prices are reasonable. We're selling our rooms 2,000, 3,000 something. With the same category, if you go to some hotels now, they're selling around 3,000, right? Actually, our prices are just similar to pension houses across here. There are many here in capital site area. We have many pension houses, many small hotels. Our rates are even just a little higher than them, but the interiors, the product, the food, the service, and everything it's comparable to a higher category of property. So, value for money.
Yeah.
What I mentioned to you is sometimes since after the pandemic, manggod, people behavior change. So, mo na ko nabantayan. They tend to be more demanding. They tend to expect more. And then, so, say matawag na ko. Yeah, I cannot use the word demanding. It's not really a good or a bad term, but yeah, mo na. Gusto lang nila barato per nindot.
Okay. What about food? I understand you have a cafe downstairs.
Yeah, before when we opened, our cafe was a concessionaire with a catering company, right? No? So unfortunately, during the pandemic, medyo it's difficult to maintain because, of course, they have their own pocket to take care, and then it's pandemic, lisod yun, no? So we were not really in agreement up to the number of dishes to be served during breakfast, number of dishes to be served for the banquet, and so on and so forth. No? So I don't blame them. I don't blame them for that because they have to take a look at their own pocket, and I have to take a look at my own pocket, and I have to take a look at the needs of our guests, right? So dili pwede na breakfast 1 dish, 2 dish lang. We still have to maintain the standard of variety. So, well, I don't blame them because a pandemic scars everything. So we changed management, so we took over the cafe, and we have been operating it for 1 year right now. So the 1 year period is still a trial. So we're still on a trial stage. Let's see next year how will it go? Whether we will improve, we have any maneuvering or discarte that we will doing. But so far, I'm doing good since we took over.
What about cuisine? Namoy specialty? Is it Filipino food?
It's more in
Chinese
Filipino. Honestly, it's more in Filipino. So that's why if you asked me earlier that what's our market, I also told you that it's more on Filipino, domestic tourism. It's more easier for us.
Okay. Any plans to open a resort maybe? Or a mountain resort, beach?
It's on my mind. Yes, I've thought of that several times because honestly, yes, I did. But so far, I didn't found a good location yet. So far, wala ko nakita na good location because, of course, when we open a property, we also have to look at our competitor, or else it will be a suicidal. It will be a suicidal investment because capital expensive, manpower, and operating cost is very high right now. If you ask me challenges in the hotel right now, it's not only manpower. I only mentioned manpower, but you've come to think of it, operating cost is very expensive right now. Mahal kayo yun.
Overhead, no?
Overhead expenses. You have 10 guests, you still have a security, you still have a front desk, you still have a manager. You have 100 people, you have 100 guests versus 10 guests, you still maintain the security guard, you still maintain the front desk, you still maintain the manager. Right, di ba? So, dapat puno jud ka permi. Kung di ka puno or dili ka makaabot sa break-even point into occupancy, patay jud ka. You are killing yourself.
The name Bayfront, you came up with the name?
Actually, to be honest, we were, because the first property was near the port area, right? So, traveling to Singapore, one time, when we passed by Marina Bay Sands, there was a Bayfront Avenue. Marina Bay Sands, the correct address of Bayfront in Marina Bay Sands was number 1 Bayfront Avenue, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So, I saw the street sign, I said, oh, Bayfront, not nice, man, nana. So, that all started. So, it comes from the inspiration that there, because the name of the first property is in the port area, so dapat kuan siya, something related to the dagat ba. So, I think Bayfront is also okay. So, that all it started. That's where it started.
Okay. What about the shipping business? How is it lately?
Yeah, I heard it's my brother who's handling it. It's not me, but I heard they're doing also well. They're doing well. Maayo man. Maayo, because everybody needs logistics. Basically, it's logistics.
Okay.
Maayo sila.
So now you're usually fully booked, even weekdays here?
Yeah, not bad. It's not really every day 100%, but we're doing above average.
What's the range, price range for the rooms?
Price range of the rooms.
And how many types of rooms do you have?
Here we have 4 Sa Picas, we also have 4. So price range between 3 is average of 2,005 pataas, 2,005 to 4,000 plus. So that's our average rate, 2,500 to 4,500, depending on the room category. That's what we're having right now. It's a mid-scale.
Very competitive.
Very competitive, very competitive. Because if you go to 5-star right now, they're selling around 8,000, 5,000. Yeah, those higher category in a prime location, they're selling 5,000. So maybe for us, maybe 1,000 pesos, 2,000 pesos difference is not really much for us. But for common travelers, especially you travel in a group, you need more than 1 room, you need more than 10 rooms. Of course, 1,000 pesos or 500 pesos matters a lot already. So pricing really plays our important role in the game.
Yeah. And for events, what's the most common you have? Meetings, kids parties, as you
here,
mentioned.
as I told you that we are doing good in kids party here. We also have small weddings because our function rooms here are smaller. If you notice, they're smaller than sa reclamation. So kids party, small weddings, and meetings because we have many offices nearby. We have pharmaceutical meetings, pharmaceutical demonstrations, and so on and so forth. Sa Picas is more on weddings, dude. Weddings. Kusog kami weddings sa Picas.
Which
And
is,
then,
as you mentioned, they have their own
market niche.
Yeah.
Yes.
But which is more challenging to run, this one or the original branch, the North Reclamation?
Challenging in terms of what
Of controls, maybe monitoring.
both need monitoring, both need
But more challenging, similar.
challenging is I would say here because when we opened this, we didn't open 100% number of rooms. So when we opened in 2021, we opened 50%. We only opened 88 rooms. Then we add because we were afraid. It was during the pandemic. So I would say that in terms of revenue wise, wala siya na abrupt diretso og full revenue because the capacity was never in full inventory. So karon raman lately 2023 man January usa kami ni full inventory. So the gauge now whether how we're really doing property 1 versus property 2 vis-a-vis is diri na sa year ends 2023. Di ako makasulti na which one is really doing well. And then when we say doing well, it's not really all about revenue. We also have to take a look at operating costs. No? So because this year might be lower revenue, but the efficiency of the people, the efficiency of the expenditure are more efficient, then of course your bottom line would be better. But there, maybe expenditure will be high, so even if you have a good revenue, the bottom line would be not so good. So I'm not saying it's not good, but of course, it's not really
pros and cons for
pros
each.
and cons. It's not always taking a look at the revenue side.
Yeah.
It's also taking a look at the
How
bottom
many
line.
rooms in total here?
168 and 168. Same.
Itoyo
na ako.
168 because it's lucky
Yeah.
for Chinese.
168 and here also 168.
168.
Yeah. It's
Okay.
lucky. But, well, no, actually, 168 there, murag na-timing ra to. Pag drawing, uy, na-timing man, 168, na-timing
Murag
ba?
swerte, so
na-timing man, okay.
i-apply na sa for
Karon,
this.
karon pag tukod diri, pag design diri, ko na uy, swerte matas 168. Kopyahan lang 168. Uy, amo to gipatuyo 168. Oh. Ito,
Okay, interesting.
It's okay. So, okay na kayo. 168, 168. Nindot man ang 8, ang ending 8.
Okay. Sige, what advice would you give kanang up and coming entrepreneurs or anyone who might want to get into the hotel business?
Actually, those entrepreneurs itself, well, you don't expect to make a profit all the time. And that's number one. It doesn't mean to say that if you go into a business,
It can be discouraging. There will be times.
Because when we started Bayfront, when I started, we were not doing. We have, as I told you, we have the revenues, but it doesn't mean to say when you have the revenues, it doesn't mean to say that you're making profit, right? So, for me, it's the first thing is you have to survive first. You have to survive. You have to survive the hospitality industry first before you take a look at profit. That's why when I started in 2014, as I told you, I was learning. I talked to a few people, left and right, and then I came across one consultant. It was a she. I recall her, and then I don't know if she still remember me. Hapit mi naglalis dito sa Boss Coffee. Kay ingon man siya na we were meeting man sa Boss Coffee. Ingon siya na bago pa ko. So tanaw niya ako, ba siya na kwenta siya, profit gali kanang kuan gyud. Hotel gali mo gini mo halin mo ni mo presyo mo gini sir. Tumanon gini mo sir. Nilalis ko. I said, you know, para nako ba to make the business survive is you need cash flow.
Cash flow is very important.
Basic accounting will tell you that if you have good cash flow, it will make the business survive, right? So, di sa pwede lugi but I mean to say at the early stage, you need good cash flow para makatuyok. So mo to nalalis min ko na sayo pa ni mo ha. Iko na
ang tuyok may kina-importante. Basta afloat lang ba.
Accountant pa ako. Iko na di man na siya sakto siguro na prepare mi lang ginan siya. Imposible man na mahitabo. Iko importante na kita cash flow para para mabuhi ka ba? Kung wala cash flow,
buhi first then unya na ang profit.
Mo na I hope some of the new entrepreneurs will understand that because I don't know if it's really taught in school right now.
I think some are profit driven right away, which is not feasible.
Yeah. And then second is you need to be passionate about it. But everything I do, since I was working in the store, I was in the textile business, I'm always passionate about what I do. Because if you don't, if you're not passionate about it, like you're selling cars. If you don't like to sell cars, then don't sell cars.
I think if wala ang heart, it cannot sustain because you have to enjoy. If you enjoy what you do, it won't feel like work.
Yes, because along the way, you will be, one way or the other, you will be forced to do things which you don't expect to do. Right? So I remember past experiences that I can say good na doon na yung sideline. Ma-sideline ma. Doon ay ma-deviate gamay pa from the normal thing that you do. It's not only like that. You need to do something else.
You need to do the hard things also that you're not used to doing or you don't really like to do, but it still needs to be done.
Needs to be done. So, dapat passionate ka. And then, next advice that I would say that you have to know your niche market. So, as I told you that we're really positioned for 3-star. So, what you ko ng ambisyon na I will be Marriott, I will be Radisson, I will be Shangri-La. What you ko ng ambisyon na I only ambition that to grow the brand, to grow the brand.
And this is your focus,
yes,
this
is
market,
focus.
this target market.
To grow the brand will be doing well in this category. We are identified with this target market, then that's it. Wala na ko ng ambition of 5-star luxury, whatsoever. So on and so forth. It's not in my head for the moment. I don't know 5 years from now, 10 years from now.
Nindot man said ang more on mass market ang matarget. No?
Yes.
Like with our cars, more on ang volume brands na mo. Usually ang itong mass market brands. That's what's really giving the action.
just to let you know, I have been a BMW fan since 2000.
Thank you. I know you're a valued client.
2001.
Yeah.
2001. My cars since 2001 up to present are all BMW. Wa ko Mercedes, wa ko Toyota, wa ko tanan. Of course, my first car was a Honda.
Actually, we carry Honda also.
Really? My first car was in college. Honda.
Yeah.
Honda. Then after Honda, that was the time then I convinced my mother that we open a branch in our textile store in SM. Then my mom said na dili man ta mo abli og SM kay mahal king abang blah blah blah. Ana, ko ma swaya lang nato ma. Siya mahal king abang alkansi kayo.
Pero grabe man sad ang foot traffic.
Yeah, foot traffic. By that time, Chinese family doesn't want to really to open in SM by the time. It was
usually
only the big brands,
more on traditional thinking. Old Chinese, syempre mas tihik og outlook.
Wa tay makuha, dili atua, sige ta bayad abang mahal and so on and so forth. So what I did is that I said, and by the way, year 2000, I was supposed to buy a new car. I told my mom, don't buy me. Ayaw ko paliti ang cost na ibayad sa sakyanan, ato na ibayad ang abang na lang.
Sakto.
Ma, di ba, wa man kayo nalugi, ma? Inko, ma, wa man kayo nalugi. Ana, ako ipusta, ang sakyanan na mo ihatag na ko, ako ibayad og rental.
Oh,
Then,
better.
kung maginansya dili ta, maayo king dagan, paliti ko.
Yeah.
Fortunately, it was doing good. The branch in our SM was doing
Yeah,
good.
I noticed that branch.
Lipay.
Dugay naman kayo.
Oo, lipay. Your dad used to walk there every night. Your dad used to walk there every night. Halos katigabi, magdungan, may guli.
I remember, I think I was in grade
You were
school.
still yata, yeah. Suroy siya sa iyong display diha. So, karon, so I told my mom, ko ma, may magdagan. Ay, naku, palitig Honda. BMW na, palit na ko.
Litso na
Mo, so,
sa
palitan
high-end.
ko niya BMW.
Your first BM was...
Kag Edgar Chongbian pa to.
It was
Yeah.
used, second hand.
No, brand new, brand new. But
Chongbian, you mean.
I think the dealer by then was Edgar Chongbian,
Yeah,
the
we
one
took
in,
over 2011.
So this was year 2001. Palit ko. First BMW.
BM.
Then, sunod na 3 series, na upgrade ng model, and so on and so forth. So that's what
So you prefer the SUVs now?
one of my no, actually I really don't wanted to do SUV. Sedan akong gusto. Then when I was during earlier years na I said I was into running, I was into triathlon. Uy, di man makarga ang bisikleta sa mo travel og layo, magbisikleta di man makarga ang bisikleta sa sedan. Amo to, nasugod og SUV. Then one of my running buddies told me that palit ka ng SUV, di na kagabalik og sakyanan. So, that's happened right now. Karon, pasakyan ko yung magsakyanan, I don't like.
You higher ground clearance, no?
Di na ko ganahan. I don't like to sakay sakyanan na para ko huot.
Yeah.
Mura siya bubo.
Bubo.
So that's it. So
X5.
yeah, X5. And then nalingaw mo sa ko. I mean, so far maayo man gipay ko. So
Yeah,
yun.
the diesel engine is also quite exceptional.
But I don't know now, it's still diesel pa ba? The new models upcoming right now?
Sa mga X models na pa'y diesel.
But I think the incoming is gasolina naman.
Most of the sedans, petrol.
Yeah.
Pero there are some changes for our lineup.
Yeah, I heard na libalik na sa Dugkuan because diesel now, gamay naman similar price point naman, no? I don't know what's
actually,
going right now, but I think it's already similar price point. But that's the history why I started my car in BMW.
Yeah, thank you, Sad. You're a valued client. Yeah, napa may other brands also if you want to explore.
No,
You mentioned Honda. We have Honda in Fairview and Cainta. So we have in
our
Luzon.
service car Kia was also
Manila.
bought from you. Kia. We have Kia, dugay na kayo.
Yeah.
That was our first service car in the hotel. So if the hotel is already 9 years, our first car was 2014.
Okay.
Kia, still alive.
Good.
Still alive.
Good to know.
Ganahan ako sa Kia is that low maintenance.
Actually, reliable jud ang
Yeah.
Kia.
Yeah.
Good design, good ride.
And then I heard that Kia has made a lot of upgrade already, di ba? Kita
The
ko.
direction now for Kia, it's more into premium na, mas ni mahal. So, especially the Sorrento, the Carnival, so it's priced higher.
Yeah, but okay siya. It's also nice. It's also nice.
Yeah.
Nindot siya.
Okay. Hopefully, more cars from us soon. But anyway, going back, what about katong Odette? Diba?
Yeah.
We suffered Odette December 2021.
Yes.
How badly were your properties damaged? How did you
Actually,
cope?
this area, kani
dire.
na area, this is our function room where we are right now, no?
Yeah.
So kato mga guests na dito sa taas, ang uban bildo nga buak man. Buak bildo. Because kusog mang wind. Actually, ang nakabuak is not really the wind, it's the debris from other neighbors.
Yeah, lupad.
Dili man ang bildo mo nabuak. Debris from other neighbors nakabuak. It's dangerous. So we move our guests here, there is area. Exactly this area, diri na mo sa gipa gather together.
Oh, they were here.
Yeah,
Okay.
they were here. Yes, they were here.
Just to gather.
Just to gather. Yes.
Okay.
Because we're
So
afraid
you served food here.
Yeah, by
that time.
Yeah, they were sharing. If I recall, there was also an event here. Nato yung nag-party. So amo na lang share. Of course, they need to sympathize with those
Yeah,
other guests.
of course.
Diba? So hindi rin na mag-gather, ma-safety man. Because we have operable walls man here, kaysa magduol sa Peligro man. So we convinced them to stay on a safer ground. So Typhoon Odette was very terrible na kung ako imong pahunaw na to, uy, bago pagali na pandemic, Typhoon Odette.
But I imagine that must have been a real test ba?
Wala
Niagi
ka.
na tag-pandemic plus Odette. So, it really brought out your abilities, how you cope with the crisis, how you manage. So, diha jud mo gawas ba if ma-tested jud inyong skills,
No,
inyong abilities.
one thing about the one thing I mean, ang ako lagi analyze ba, one thing about the hospitality industry bitaw is that in my point of view is that you look at Hong Kong, di ba? Before pandemic, Hong Kong kulatasan. We often met in Hong Kong before. Karon, during the time na sige riot ang Hong Kong, riot ba?
Yeah, gubot
Does
bitaw.
tourists like to go there? Di ba? You don't like. Thailand, Bangkok, there was one instances na grabe sa ilang mga riot, ilang mga political unrest sa dito. So do you think tourists like to go there? So if you imagine, if we have political unrest here in our place, people will not come here. So risgo na. Gamay na political unrest or whatsoever para sa Hong Kong tayo. Wala man kung naana diri. Wala sa tay guest na sad. Kung naana sa tay pandemic, gamay lang na kuan, cancel na sad. Wala sa tay halin. So inana ba? It's really how do you call this? Risgo. It's also the risk in the hospitality industry.
Okay.
Kaya di mo travel ang mga tao.
Yeah.
So muna, we always pray that everything will be smooth, no incident, no fortuitous event, no whatsoever. Typhoon Odette, we also damage a lot. Both properties na damage.
How long did it take for you to be fully restored? All the damages?
Actually, we do it Chinese style. No? Ang uban properties, I will not mention some of the properties, they close, they renovate, and whatsoever. Sirado 6 months, unya, taas kay proseso ba? So what we did is Chinese style, ininchik lagi na balik negosyo.
Hindi mo sira? Or
We didn't close.
Yeah.
We just cordon, we just selected, kanina area, way guba, this is safe for the guests. Sige, we open this. Kanina safe, rather than closing the whole
that's more
hotel.
efficient.
It's more efficient. And then,
because you're operational, and
Yeah.
yet you're able to handle certain parts.
yeah, because some of the hotel, ang lisod na atong Odette is the supplies. Scarce ang tong supplies.
Yeah, grabe to, lining up for
Yeah.
fuel, all the
then-
genset clamoring, all the...
Genset, and then if you notice, ang among mga tao, among mga guests, I would say na, kanang, they don't understand that we need to have rest our generators. So, ang gusto sila,
Yeah,
check in
naman
in
ay
hotel.
time off, di ba?
No, you need to rest. Hawaii ba? So you need to rest. So we were operating on genset for how many weeks? That's more than 3-4 weeks, huh? So Hawaii gid sila. Ang ubang guest masuko kay check-in bitaw mag hotel kay gusto mi ni aircon, gusto mi genset, unya human inyong paggon. They don't understand the idea
course,
that.
yeah.
And talking about Odette, I have to personally get a technician. Ang technician wa may motor. One of my genset back down in reclamation. So that's why I said that we have to do things beyond what is necessary. So I have to get the technician,
Yeah.
the
Find ways.
mekaniko, to find ways to bring the technician here because the technician do not have motor but wala gasolina iyang motor. So unsa may akong gibuhat? Tuyo jud ko pakuha niya sa iyang balay para lang makaanhi para maka-service nako. So those are things that we need to go the extra mile ba.
Yeah.
Para lang yun
Those times when we're called upon.
Buhat lang yun na to. This is beyond our goal. Supposed to be, mo ka na, di ba na, trabaho na nila, sila mo service yun.
Usay dapat mangunay in certain instances, especially
Mamunay.
crisis.
Yes. Our people has to get gasolina, line up sa gas station. Kaya you cannot get Bolt naman. You cannot get Bolt. Then we were unprepared. Among tangke, dili ko din na kadako. Good for other hotels na nakapundo sa baril, daghan kayo. Kami, caught unaware. So, wala dyan may nakapundo. Our data has this capacity. So, di yun may makapundo og daghan. Although, my brother and Chase also helped me because they have gas station man in Talisay. So, tabang siya nako. But even though nitabang siya nako, akong capacity, inani raman. Because our data is just this big. So, mo to.
Which gas station?
Chase, I think his wife has a gas station there sa Shell Talisay in Rabaya Street. Yeah.
Shell. Okay. All right. Anything else you'd like to impart to our viewers?
Well, I hope they get an insight on how the hospitality industry is.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, as I told you, to grade myself from 1 to 10, I'm still on a grade of 5. So I really don't expect them to listen all. They have to learn by themselves also. So how do they want, if they like the hotel business, if they want to venture in this hospitality industry, then they need to learn by their own. You cannot learn it overnight.
Okay. But hotels, I understand, ang ROI, di ba? Dugay kayo.
Yeah, it's dugay because actually it's not only capital. The capital expenditure is high, right? And then, like when I went ocular before there are only a few resorts that has LED wall, built-in LED wall. Two weeks ago, I went on ocular to another hotel. I didn't expect that hotel to have an LED wall. Uy, naano may LED wall? Ano ba? So, people are upgrading. So, muna, di pa kamuman, palit na sad. Like our F&B department, since we took over their F&B, non-stop, sige palit, next month, request, palit mig oven, palit mig whatsoever, palit mig ana. Di mo, palit whatsoever, di good mo man. So the capital expenditure is really turning. It's really kanang you need to invest in the operating machineries in the hotel, which is also it's not
Need
only
said magsigig update, no? You have to keep up with the changing times because they're upgrading your competitors. So you also have to make sure you offer
ang usa sa
the
yun,
best.
ang usa ako nabantayan is ang butang maguba yun. Even though warranty like we have a very big, it's just a minor thing ba, but usay you just bought a good brand of freezer, then just a few months guba diretso, then you told come service and whatsoever dugay kayo, palit sa bag-o, sige palit na sa bag-o para magamit. Ay na ba, so doble sa gasto,
Hindi dyan malikay, no? Ang kanang maintenance
palit
aspect.
na bag-o, so that's what's happening. So na yung unforeseen events, na unforeseen expenditure na dapat pagawas yung kwarta diretso. Yan na ba? It's not the same na ma-allocatean na like the buy and sell. If I can compare it to buy and sell, na mangita, I'm sorry, wala may stock, period. Bupalik kong sakyanan. Gusto ko puti color. Why stock sir, sorry, period. Here, if na maguba na freezer, na maguba na generator, na maguba na equipment, you cannot tell, oy, sorry, because you already have guests in front of you.
Yeah.
You have guests in front of you, you should act accordingly, immediately, di ba?
Act right away to
Di mo na siya buy
maintain
and sell
the
na,
service.
Gusto ko auto, gusto ko puti, usawa, o pili lang lain, sir. Di ba pwede? So that's the difference. If you let me compare
More pressure
industry versus another
to
industry.
please
Diba?
the clients.
Yeah, di siya pareha.
Okay. What about you're a true blue Cebuano, no?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
what can you say about
here.
the changes over the past decades with Cebu, with the developments? Now the economy is bouncing back. How has Cebu changed over the years
If you let me compare,
since you started?
yeah, if you compare lang basically IT Park, Cebu Business Park, before when I was still in school, Hawan, no buildings at all. You take a look, the jobs that they generate, whether it's a call center or for other industry. And then developments in Cebu are sprawling left and right, whether it's hotels, condominiums, office spaces, and whatsoever. Kusog kayo good. So it's a nice investment. If people want to invest in Cebu, I would rather encourage them to invest. And then I heard also with the CCLEX, property prices in Cordova, Lapu-Lapu are also going high because
Going up.
CCLEX, diba?
Yeah, because it's more accessible.
Accessible, yeah. Lali na. Kaysa una, I remember, diha sa Lapu-Lapu, Cordova, nobody is interested kayo. Karon everybody is interested kay. It's also a good location because dali naman kayo. Although the bridge is layo sad, no?
Yeah, it's a long bridge.
long drive sad, but it's still better than going to the traffic. Diba? Traffic kayo. So, agil lang kag bridge, bayad lang kag 70 pesos, 90 pesos, I forgot.
Yeah, there's a toll fee.
Toll fee, but it's still expensive, but I I believe that sooner or later, bobarato-barato na siya siguro. Because I also believe that they have to make money out of it. Gasto ba tayo sa...
Okay. What about your philosophy in life, or do you have any mottos you live by, or what's your general outlook with life? What's our purpose? Anything else you want to venture into? Or what's the meaning of life?
Philosophy, no, wala man. I don't really have a specific. Well, I just believe in karma. Karma. Don't do unto others what you want others to do to you.
Yeah.
And then do good, be fair to people. And then I think I'm good with it.
You're good.
I'm good with it. It's not really something na dili mahimo bitaw. No?
Yeah, nalay morality and values in place.
Dili na ta makasaog tao, fair lang ta, and be thankful because you can see pandemic, life is short.
Yeah, uncertain.
Life is very short, no? So
uncertain.
we lost a few friends. We lost a few friends during the pandemic. So medyo kaingon jud ka na lipay na ta. That's why in school before that if you took religious education, they said that you have to, every morning that you wake up, you should be thankful already that you that nakamata ka, di ba? So thankful. It's very thankful. And then what we have right now, because not all people or not everybody have the opportunity that we are having. So pasalamat na.
Okay. You wouldn't describe yourself as religious or...
No, I would be a hypocrite if I say that I'm very religious. No? So one thing when my son was going to a Catholic school, and then they were asking me about going to church, be religious. I have to tell them the truth that I don't go to church, but I will learn together with my son, who is studying now in a Catholic school. Because one thing I want to share to my kids is that unsay wala na nakatunan makamao sa sila, di ba? Example, I'm not religious, so it's not a sign that it's bad, but I might as well share it to them, right? So maka-impart na nila, malipay pasad ta na buutan sila or whatsoever.
Yeah. Okay. So I think we had a very productive discussion.
I hope they get something out of it.
Thank you so much for your time, your insights. I'm sure many will listen. Salamat kayo for your time.
Thank you.
And
thank you.
Until we meet again.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.